Hello, this is Sussex Murphy, along with the Reverend C.F. Furphy O.B.E. Furphy, we've been over this. You don't have an O.B.E. You were ordered out of the British Empire. You were only allowed to stay because I had the pictures of David Cameron and the pig. I still like to say I've got an O.B.E. Fine, I'm not going to argue. Anyway, before we get into the main show of Furphy's Fables, it's time for me to do the sponsorship announcement. All Murphiverse programming is brought to you by Home for the LD Lee. They sell Laserdiscs, HD DVDs, and CDs. And our fans can all put in the code MURPH at checkout to get a 20% discount on their order. So, Home for the LD Lee, the kings of Laserdiscs. Now today I thought I'd tell you about a few of my acting roles. Unfortunately neither of these ever made it to screen, but yes. Now you may know that in Star Trek The Next Generation there was briefly talk of having Sir Patrick Stewart wearing a wig. They tried this out with one of William Shatner's old wigs and it didn't really work out. So then they thought about what if he had a sort of super intelligent, genetically engineered sort of hairpiece, and I was to play that hairpiece. And he would have conversations with the hairpiece, sort of discuss things, amongst him and the hairpiece. And there was a lot of sort of tension between myself as the hairpiece and Riker, who would be very sort of, I'm number one, I'm supposed to give you all the ideas, and you're listening to the bloody hairpiece all the time. What was that? Yeah. Sorry, I should probably have turned my phone off. Someone's messaging me on Furfbook, which you can actually access via our website, which we may as well mention it now. It's on the screen there. I shall furf you. Now, unfortunately, this didn't really pan out, largely because that I was naked, and, well, you can probably make your own mind up there, but it was sort of a family show, and Patrick Stewart is a rather sexy man, and, we can't blame Furphy for, almost sort of pole vaulting off of his head several times, through takes, so, yes, unfortunately, it didn't work out, and I was fired. But, it was a jolly good time, and I got to spend a lot of time with the cast. Patrick Stewart really is a lovely chap, and we did enjoy a lovely cup of tea together on several occasions. Did someone mention tea? Yes, I did, BG Tips, but it's not about making a cup of tea now. I was talking about a story about in the past having a cup of tea. Ooh, what was it? Was it a nice cup of tea? Yes, it was actually. It was a very lovely Earl Grey. Hot. Well, that's jolly good. I can make you a cup of tea. I don't mind any time. No, I'm not really thirsty at the moment, thank you, BG Tips, but maybe after the show, okay? Okay. Now, I've had a few roles in various different shows and movies over the years. Another rather hairy one was in the old Laurel and Hardy films. You may remember the little bald chappie called James Findlayson. He was in a lot of their films, and he had a rather spiffy moustache. What you may not know is that the moustache wasn't real, and one day they couldn't find the actual moustache, and Furphy happened to be on set. I was just sort of wandering around, really, just sort of hanging out with a few of my chums in Hollywood, and they said, "Oh, Furphy, you're about the right size," and so they glued me to his face, and we did a few takes, but it didn't really work, and they eventually found the actual moustache, and so they just used that instead. But there were a few takes where that it was in fact Furphy dangling under James Finlayson's nose. Unfortunately for Furphy, he did have a cold at the time, and I spent the next 6 weeks picking bits of snot out of my fur. He and Laurel and Hardy were all lovely chaps, and Mr. Finlayson and I did also enjoy a lovely cup of tea together. Not now, BG Tips. Sorry. Now, in a role where I was actually going to be on screen playing an actual character was in the first series of Frasier. Unfortunately, I also didn't make the cut there, but I was going to be the studio technician at KACL, Gary Philpott. And, I was just going to come in and fix things whenever things went wrong in the studio. So, yes, and I had sort of a backstory with the Bulldog character. He and I didn't get along, so... we're not in real life, obviously he was lovely, but yes, the character and I were supposed to sort of be at sort of loggerheads with each other, and I think from memory we were going to have the hots for the same young lady, and Yes, it was a rather odd casting, now I think of it. But, yes. The only person that wasn't lovely on that show was Kelsey Grammer, but the less said about him, the better. Okay, well, that's all we've got time for this time on Furphy's Fables. Someone from the Furphy Murphy gang will be back next week with another video. And yes, thank you for watching. Don't forget our website. Don't forget our sponsors at home for the LD Lee. And yes, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, all of those things that you can do to maybe get more people watching this channel. And yes. What's going on now? Well, we have to do this thing where we just sort of stand here for a while. Why? Well, so that YouTube can put up little ads for our other videos. Oh, so that people can go up there or something. There'll probably be something that'll say, oh, you can see another video of Furphy's Fables, or maybe Furphy's Favourites. We haven't done one of those in a while. Yes, so one of our old ones will probably be up there, and people can click on it, and yes. Okay. How long do we have to stand here? Oh, not long at all. This should probably be enough. There goes my Furf book again.